Hi, this is Cindy from bechamphealth, and today I want to show you what it looks like when I offer a client a recommendation report. So when a client books a consultation with me, I send them a question sheet with a bunch of questions to check out their medical history, what supplements they're taking, what medication they're taking, what their food preferences are, what their main health concerns are, and what symptoms they're experiencing. Because based on the symptoms, you can already see if they have digestive issues, maybe the thyroid issues, adrenal issues, hormonal issues. So I go through the whole questionnaire. It is sent out to the client before our meeting. Then once we meet for about an hour and a half, I then go through the whole question sheet and I ask a lot of probing questions, which then leads me to write a report. Now, this report has information that I recommend on their diet, on their supplements, and on their lifestyle. And I do a table of checklists that they can then use to kind of keep them accountable on their supplement intake. If the client wants, I send them a sample meal plan, some recipes. And so I want to share with you a case study. It's a client that is menopausal. She's in her mid-50s and she wants help with sleep, with weight loss. She wants help with her hot flashes, and she wants help with her mood issues. Okay, so this is my report back to the client. So her goal was to lose excess weight, to improve quality of sleep, to boost absorption of nutrients, and to stabilize her mood, stabilize her hot flashes and her night sweats. So this is an example of a client report. So her goal was to have all of these things done. Now, what I recommended for that was to enhance her nutrition absorption as well, because she was having some bloating issues and she's having fatigue, a lot of fatigue after her meal. So what I want to do, what my goal is to enhance her nutrition and her digestion, enhance her mood, and improve her sleep while losing weight. Now, this is a lot. Now, this is kind of like a 6-month plan, but she can take it step by step. So first, adaptogens will help with her stress. So if she can incorporate some ginseng tea, ashwagandha powder with her tea, or add it in, into a smoothie or something like that. Turmeric would be also good to reduce the oxidative stress. Foods high in minerals, I would recommend, of course, a lot of vegetables, greens, but basically this is just, high level. I'll go into the details later. Foods high in B vitamins for mental health and energy. Also a low glycemic diet, low refined carbs and sugary foods. She also has a sweet tooth. She has she has a lot of sweet cravings. She's doing her best, but she always has to have a certain, sweet treat after her meals. I'm going to help her with that. Avoid sugar and sweets, refined carbs, processed foods, alcohol, caffeine, and any foods that stimulate the adrenals and spike sugar levels. This will aggravate hot flashes. And it's true. She even said it at the same call. She's like, you know what? I was just having a sip of wine and I noticed a hot flash just the other day, having some wine, and I started getting hot flashes. So yes, alcohol, caffeine will trigger that. And sugar will deplete minerals, right? So you want to preserve your minerals. That's why you want to minimize sugar. You also want to minimize caffeine, because when you're having coffee, when you're increasing the caffeine, it acts like a diuretic. So you are also losing minerals through the urine. So you want to minimize that as well. So what do I mean by mineral-rich foods? In here, I would like her to incorporate some seaweed into her diet. Seaweed is high in iodine. It will help with thyroid health and function. And it also has a lot of trace minerals like selenium and magnesium. I'd like her to add some sesame or pumpkin seeds, or it's excellent for magnesium and zinc. It's also really good for hormones. Pumpkin seeds, wonderful. And Brazil nuts. So actually pumpkin seeds would be wonderful for the follicular phase. Sesame seed is very good for the luteal phase. So pumpkin seeds and flax seeds is very good for estrogen, supporting estrogen. Sesame and sunflower seeds are very healthy for progesterone support. So just having some of these seeds would also help her. Brazil nuts is one of the richest sources of selenium. It's essential for thyroid, hormone metabolism, so that's selenium. People could take supplements instead of just taking the Brazil nuts, but typically 4 Brazil nuts a day will give you enough selenium to support your thyroid T4 to T3 conversion. So that's thyroid health. Beets also high in potassium, magnesium, and helps with liver support, detoxification pathways. Just some ideas to incorporate into her diet. Certain foods high in B vitamins. So I have some lists here. By looking at this list, she can start to generate her own meal plan. So adding nutritional yeast, because that has a lot of B vitamins. Legumes, leafy greens, whole grains such as brown rice and quinoa, eggs, avocado for that healthy fat. But also it's good to support adrenal hormone production there with the source of B5 and B6. And then cruciferous vegetables, really good for liver support, detoxification. Just by looking through her food journal, I was able to see that she's not eating quite enough of the cruciferous vegetables. Things that also have minerals are your Celtic salt, the Himalayan salts, a gray unprocessed salt, or unrefined salt, sea salt, for example. So just adding that also can help with balancing your minerals, but curbing those sugar cravings. So when you have a sweet craving, you can add a little pinch of this salt in with some lemon or a grapefruit, or if you're on medication, don't take grapefruit, but like maybe take mint leaves, put some sea salt, put some lemon juice, and then that will give you that satisfaction, quenching that craving. Increasing probiotic foods, sip on apple cider vinegar to support the digestion. And then, this was a repetition, but adding some seaweed into soups, stews, and sauces when cooking. So during this conversation I had with her, I realized that she doesn't have a water filter. She uses tap water to cook. So I recommend, she has a fridge filter, but she uses that to drink, and she doesn't use that water to cook and to make soups and stews. So that's something that I highly recommend for anybody, just to use filtered water to cook as well, so that you're not drinking back these heavy metals from the tap water or chlorine or different chemicals. So I recommended that. I sent her some information on water filters. I then recommended that she, over time, replace her mercury fillings with ceramic fillings. She can see a holistic dentist, and I also sent her information on the holistic dentist. Then I asked her to replace aluminum and Teflon cookware with stainless steel or glass to reduce aluminum contamination, because again, that can impede the thyroid function. Aluminum can also affect mood and brain health. Any heavy metals can affect your immune system and gut health as well. So hydration, I asked her to drink enough water through the day with some Celtic salt, some lemon juice to replenish electrolytes. Stress management, very important. Journal her thoughts, ask her to release her emotions through yoga, doing stretches, meditation through the day, because preserving that adrenal health is very important. Through menopause, your hormones are declining, the ovaries are slowly producing less and less hormones, the estrogen, progesterone. So your adrenals have to do its job, like replace that extra workload. It's not going to do as much as the ovaries used to, but it's still going to try. And by that effort, it's going to also get more tired. So that's why a lot of women will experience trouble with their mood. There's this hormone fluctuation, but it's also they feel more overwhelmed, and they may not be able to deal with stress as well. That's why so many women would lash out, for example, or get irritated very easily. And it's because of this adrenal overworking. And that's why things like ashwagandha and ginseng can help with stress management and with your adrenal health. So then going down, I also gave her a little link of this very calming 7-minute exercise that I love. You can Google it, 7 Minutes of Magic. It's one of my favorite videos that I recommend for people to kind of de-stress and get some circulation going. And of course, yoga, Pilates, those are wonderful exercises and not too taxing for your adrenals. So it won't spike cortisol. It's something that can still build muscle. I'm talking about the Pilates and just doing that type of gentle exercise. So now we get into the interesting part. It's the supplements. So what I wanted her to get, and this is something that can last a few months, is first digestive enzymes. since she expressed to me that she's extremely tired after eating her meals, I recommend that she get a digestive enzyme that has a little bit of HCl, betaine, also bile to help her with fat absorption, and also different types of pancreatic enzymes. So this one here, NFH, I really like. It's Digestive Enzymes SAP, and this has a nice blend of enzymes with the bile and HCl. This will also help her with energy, because if she doesn't have enough stomach acid, she won't be able to absorb B12, vitamin B12. So I'm going to drink my electrolyte drink. Okay, and also, if she doesn't have enough stomach acid, especially betaine, that can impede the digestion of proteins. And then, of course, the enzymes don't get released because the stomach acid is not very high enough to trigger the release. So I recommended this. Now, the second thing for hot flashes and hormone balancing a bit is the Woman's Sense Menosense. I love this for hot flashes. I find it very effective. 1 to 4 capsules a day, always starting with the lowest dose first. So when you're new to a supplement, don't take the maximum amount that they recommend. Just take 1 capsule and then slowly increase it to whatever they recommend. So that's why, just to see if you have any adverse reactions to it. These kind of ingredients, honestly, the dong quai, the chased berry, they often are very, very helpful. Chased berry is Vitex. This one helps with progesterone leveling. Dong quai is for estrogen. I think that this will really help her with her hot flashes and night sweats. And then, we really need vitamin D, especially in the winter months. And now this is February now. And so for her bone health, I think it's so important that she take vitamin D3 and K2. And then for her sleep, I recommended magnesium, bisglycinate for sleep and relaxation. For her gut flora, I recommend probiotics. And then for the weight loss and sugar cravings, I recommend a little bit of chromium matrix. This will help with insulin resistance. And then electrolytes, especially if she wants to try intermittent fasting, which she expressed that she wants to do it. She just doesn't want to get like low blood sugar. So I recommend some electrolytes. And then the ashwagandha, if she doesn't have it already, a lot of people have it like in a tea form. I recommend the powder. She can just put that into some water and drink it, because I don't like to give too many capsules. It's just too many like capsules to swallow. So even if I have capsules somewhere, like magnesium, for example, or even the Menosense, I would, for clients who don't like swallowing capsules, they can always open it up and then put it in water, mix it up and drink it. The only capsules that I do not recommend you opening and drinking it in water is the digestive enzymes that have HCl, because that could burn your stomach. So you want it to be in the capsule form and take it with food only so that it doesn't burn. So apart from that, I also gave a sample supplement plan, and this is how it looks like for 7 days. Okay, it could be overwhelming, but as you incorporate it slowly, you'll be able to reach that. Basically, you start off with some lukewarm water in the morning with an electrolyte drink, the one that I recommended, sweetened with stevia. It doesn't really spike sugar or insulin. And that will carry you through until a later breakfast or later lunch. Then for the breakfast, I recommend protein rich. And so I give her also a sample meal plan, maybe starting with some omelets, or if she's vegetarian, you can always have like tofu and beans or protein shake. So at that point, take 1 Menosense. Then at lunch, you can have an enzyme with probiotics later on in the lunch. The enzyme first, after a few bites. And then probiotic toward end of the meal. And then in the afternoon, she can have chromium with a snack. For dinner, again, she can take enzymes. And the thing is, sometimes people have a very small lunch, so they don't have to take the enzyme at lunch. They can take it only at dinner time when they're feeling more fatigued. So this is optional. And then during dinner, she could have 4 drops of the vitamin D3 K2. And then in the evening, she could have 1 to 2 magnesium capsules. So she could even start with 1. It doesn't seem that bad to me. Like, I don't know what you think, but just running through this, it doesn't seem that bad to incorporate that into the day. And then just before bedtime, she can take 1 Menosense again, just to kind of balance everything out for her sleep, and hopefully it could reduce her night sweats. So I also attached some adrenal nourishing recipes, things that she could have to curb her sweet cravings, some cacao with cinnamon, maybe some ashwagandha in there to support her adrenals. So this is typically what I offer my clients. So if this is something that interests you and you want to talk about how to address some of your menopausal symptoms, please reach out and we could set up a private consultation. And if you're interested in improving your gut health and your pelvic floor, if you're feeling like those pelvic muscles are getting weak, you're getting maybe some accidents when you have to go urinate and it's leaking, then I have a course that I've developed last year with a Pilates instructor specializing in pelvic health, and it's called the Gut and Pelvic Health Reset. It's a 6-week program, but you can access it for life. It's available on an app or on the computer. Either way, you can get access to it. And I have meal plans there to address all of these menopausal symptoms, especially belly fat and gut health. And then Alexandra has all of these lovely Pilates exercises that you can do. And so if you're interested in that, I have a link below. You can click on that link to enroll. And we also have a private Facebook group for you once you're enrolled in there to support you and keep you accountable and answer any of your questions. And if any of this information helped you, please like this video, subscribe, and share. Have a wonderful day.